Hi everybody, welcome back. Now in a previous video I mentioned that I'm going to be performing some upgrades to our caravan, and today is one of those upgrades. I am in fact upgrading the radio from a normal FM stereo radio to a DAB and Bluetooth radio. The reason for the upgrade is quite simple. I want to be able to play music from my phone and Bluetooth it to the radio, and I also want to listen to some DAB radio stations, typically the ones which I enjoy listening to at home, that being 6 Music and BBC 4 Extra. So today's video is an installation video. It's not a review, it's not a endorsement of the product which I have bought from Halfords. I'll go into the radio in more detail in a moment, but this is just an installation video and also showing you how you can do it yourself with no extra antennas for the DAB radio. So to start with, let's look at the radio which I've bought just this morning from Halfords. So this is the radio that I've purchased. It's a Pioneer MVX-X580DAB. It's got many features, most of which I'm not really interested in. Some of those features include USB playback, it can connect to Android devices, it can connect to Spotify, as well as iPod and iPhone. But for me, the features that I was interested in was the Bluetooth audio connectivity and DAB. The radio itself doesn't come with a CD drive, and I am denied about this for some time, but as we no longer play CDs at home, I decided to take a punt and go without. This does mean though that the unit is very light. The manual suggests that we need to use a second antenna for the DAB reception, but there is a way to use the existing antenna in the caravan, and I'll show you the antenna setup in a moment. At the back of the radio there are 2 antenna sockets, one for the FM, and this is a standard car radio aerial socket, and the second one is a DAB fitting, and this connector is known as an SMB. So let's look at how I'm going to wire up these 2 antenna sockets. Well, it's incredibly simple. I'm using an antenna splitter, and as you can see it's got a standard FM radio socket and plug, and it's got the addition of the DAB plug as well. Now the radio didn't come with this cable, I had to buy this separately, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. So that's the radio and antenna wiring. Let's go and have a look at the actual antenna which I'm using for this install. So we have the Vision Plus Status 570 antenna and a VP3 amplifier, and this is fairly common on modern caravans. I will discuss later what to do if you have a slightly different configuration in your caravan. On this amplifier you can see that there is a radio outlet, and this is already being used by the current radio in the caravan. So all we need to do is just add our splitter cable and it's job done. In some caravans you may find that your antenna setup doesn't have a radio outlet on the amplifier, and in that case there are 2 common installations. You may have a separate radio antenna altogether. Like this one, and like the one we had on our Luna, the antenna is amplified and the solution which we're about to go through will work well. Another common installation is this. You might find extra cables coming at the bottom of the Status antenna tube. Like this one, we have a white coax, a black coax and a red cable. What's happening here is the white coax feeds the TV sockets via the amplifier, and the black coax goes directly to the radio, and the radio antenna, which is mounted inside the Status antenna tube, is amplified, hence the red wire. So again, the solution that I'm about to add onto my caravan will work on this installation too. So let's make a start and swap the radios over, and by then it should all make sense. So the first job is to remove the old radio. Now this one took some fiddling to get out, and it was about 30 minutes of patient wiggling and swearing to release the radio. To remove the radio you need keys like these to fit down the sides and to release the mechanism. Once released, pull the radio out and remove the connectors and the antenna cable. The next job is to remove the grey metal surround. Now this is made of fairly soft metal and is bent in place to hold the radio in. You can use a screwdriver to unbend these, and I've got limited tools here today so I'm using a multi-tool. I don't recommend this method, it could be a little bit dangerous, but thankfully I've still got 8 fingers and 1 thumb left after doing this. Once removed, it's time to refit the new metal surround, and although it looks almost identical, it has tabs and a locking mechanism which is specific to this radio. So if you are doing a swap over, make sure you change this bit too. Once you refit the metal surround, don't forget to bend the tabs out, that'll hold it safely in place. Now we're ready for the radio, and I've first connected this supplied wiring loom to the back of the radio, and it's time to connect this to the caravan. I've also connected the antenna plugs to the back of the radio as well. The block connectors that you can see here supply the power to the radio, the output for the speakers, and they can only be fitted one way round. Now let's just take a moment to talk about these block connectors. They're fairly standard ISO-fit car radio connectors, and you'll find them on modern caravans. If you have a slightly older caravan, however, you may not have this connector, and if that's the case, don't panic. You can buy this block connector and you can terminate it yourself, and it makes it far easier to install and upgrade a radio in the near future. If you're interested, I've put a link to this wiring loom in the description below. Right, with all the main cables connected, the antenna hooked up, it's time to push the radio back into its housing and see if this actually works. The radio wants to go through some setup information like the language and the time, but once it's done it goes off and starts scanning for DAB station. Now I'm not completely sure at this point how to use this radio. Like I said, it's not really a review of the radio, but after 15 minutes of fiddling I've found Radio 4 Extra that I can listen to on some non-copyright content.
But it could either be a biggish sort of launch or a tiny, tiny ocean-going liner.
So it all seems to be working well. It's found a lot of DAB stations. The audio quality is really good. No crackling, no breaking up, and I haven't extended the antenna either, so that's a really good sign. I've even connected this up to my iPhone, and it's now being able to play music from my Apple library, which works really well. One last thing I didn't mention about this radio is its ability to handle hands-free phone calls. You can add in a microphone which is supplied and you can speak hands-free. I'll be honest though, for this installation I'm not really bothered about that, but if you are, well, it's there as a feature. So there we go. So I hope that video is of use to you. I hope that I've shown you how simple, how straightforward it is to upgrade your existing radio. It took me all of 20 minutes. It did take me about half an hour though to get the old radio out because it was a bit of a tricky thing to get out, but there we go, it's out now. Very simple, very easy to do. This isn't an endorsement or a supporter of that radio. I've not really used it yet. A couple of things I don't like already on it, but I'll let you know how I get on with it over the next coming months. If you're interested in this radio, I'll put a link to it down below, because the cheapest place I found was in Halfords, so if you are interested then pop along and see that one in Halfords. So there we go, I hope that's useful for you. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask down below, and until next time, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, bye now.